Beyond Belief. Fact or fiction? Hosted by Jonathan Frakes. Tonight, your challenge is to separate what is true from what is false. 5 stories, some real, some fake. And you judge which are fact and which are fiction. To find out, you must enter a world of both truth and deception. A world that is beyond belief.
What's real and what is illusion? And can we really tell the difference? Observe this still picture of a fire. It contains absolutely no movement at all. Now, I ask you to stare at this spiral. Begin now. Don't close your eyes or turn your head away from the set. Just continue to concentrate on the spinning circle. Or should I say circles within circles within circles. And now, look at our still picture of the fire again. This time there is movement, but you are providing the illusion of movement with your own eyes. What other illusions are contained in our stories tonight? Will you accept what we present as truth without challenge, or will you add fuel to the fire? Oh, excuse me, I'll call you back. It's almost impossible to go anywhere these days without seeing somebody on a cell phone. In fact, they've become so addictive, people now take them where they don't belong, like movie theaters, even funerals. But what about a time of crisis? What happens when your phone is so important that it's the only thing that can save your life? Watch what happens to Jackie Gordon and Mark Winters. You make the call. Jackie and Mark had been dating for several months. They met at Comtronics, a software company that hired them right out of college. They both loved the outdoors and were on the first night of a 3-day camping trip.
Oh man, look at this. Pack Dad is developing the same piece of software we are. Race is on. What's wrong? Jackie, what is it?
Well, that's kind of weird.
Are you gonna tell me or what?
Yeah, sorry. It was a news report. You know that guy Stuart Becker? He founded zebrafoot.com?
Yeah, sure, that 25-year-old whiz kid.
Yeah, well, he's missing. He went hiking here in the Potash just 3 days ago and never made it back to camp.
Here?
The police said there may be a killer on the loose.
Well, maybe we should just pack up and go home.
Oh, no, Mark, let's not go. Besides, you know how overblown the news can be. They just love to scare people. I mean, he probably just got lost.
And what about the other ones? Did they get lost too?
It's possible.
All right, I'll stay.
The next morning was perfect. Jackie and Mark tried not to think about the disappearance of Stuart Becker.
Aren't you glad we decided to stay?
Yeah, this place is incredible.
Yeah.
Here, I'll take that.
Okay, here. So you think we have enough wood? Mark, what's wrong?
Just quiet.
Oh my God, Mark, he's cleaning blood off that knife.
Kitchen's behind her. Jackie, run! Well, look back! Keep running!
I can get a signal.
Shh. Listen. You hear that?
He's coming. What do we do?
No. Look, there's somebody over there. Come on, come on. Do you see the yellow shirt?
No! He's too fast. We're going to lose him.
Just keep running. I don't see him.
Why didn't he wait for us?
I don't know.
Still on the surface. What good are these things?
Wait, listen. He's quiet. I think we lost him. Hey! Over here!
Later, Jackie and Mark reported everything from when they first heard the radio report about the missing hiker to the man in the yellow shirt.
As soon as he saw us, he just started coming after us. And then there was this guy in a yellow shirt. He just kept helping us. You know, he'd show up and then we'd lose him.
A man in a yellow shirt?
Hey, there he is.
Where?
He was there, I swear it. He was pointing at something over here somewhere. Hey, there's somebody down here.
Mark, it's him. How?
I don't know. Stuart Backer, missing hiker.
Thank God. You found me.
This story really happened? Did the injured victim actually leave his body to ensure his own rescue? If not, who was the man in the yellow shirt that kept appearing at just the right time? Was he just a figure of Mark and Jackie's overstressed imagination? Is this tale of terror in the woods based on reality, or has the truth taken a hike?
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a young man faces the mystery of his past on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Did you have a favorite book as a child? The color, the feel, even the smell of books like these can stay with us forever. Dr. Albert Duval has read many books in his lifetime, but none has ever prepared him for the patient he's about to encounter. A patient who will open the doctor's life to an unexpected new chapter.
I had been a child psychologist for 10 years and had treated all kinds of troubled children, but Jeremy McBain was the most baffling one yet. I just couldn't reach him. Don't you like any of the toys, Jeremy? There's a lot of nice ones here. Did I tell you that today's my birthday? When's your birthday? Jeremy had not spoken for the past 2 years. There was nothing physically wrong with him. He just stopped talking the day his older sister died in a car accident. Jeremy, I want you to tell me how you feel inside right now. Do you feel good? Do you feel bad? I was the latest in a long line of specialists that Jeremy had seen. After 6 months, I was ready to admit failure.
He seems to be even more distant today, Dr. Duval.
He's going to have good days and bad days, Miss McBain, just like everyone else.
I'm losing my little boy, Doctor, and no one can do anything.
I know how hard this has been for you.
Come on, Jeremy. It's time to go.
It was very strange, but Jeremy was headed straight for a book on my shelf. The most important book in my life.
Jeremy?
Do you like that book, Jeremy? It's called Jojo Babbitt and the Magic Wheel. My father gave me 5 of these books as a birthday gift when I was a child. If I was unhappy or sick, I'd read them and look at the pictures, and they'd make me feel better. I read them so much I wore them out. 4 of them were lost. This is the only one I have left. It means a lot to me. Is there something wrong, Jeremy?
I fixed books.
When did you fix books?
When I was big.
When you were big. Did the books you fixed look like this one?
Yes. Big leather books.
How long did you fix books?
Till I died.
You died, Jeremy?
My name's not Jeremy, it's Harry Chaffee.
It was the most unusual thing I had ever witnessed. I wanted to keep Jeremy talking and see where it would lead. So I decided to address him as Harry Chaffee. Where did you fix these books, Harry?
At the village bookstore.
That night, after work, I stopped at the village bookstore. It was nearby my office, so I figured that Jeremy had probably seen it many times on the way to our weekly visits. That could have explained how it got into his head. But what about the name Harry Chaffee and that story about fixing the books that looked like the one in my office?
May I help you?
Do you have any more books that look like this one?
Oh, that's beautiful. But no, I'm afraid I don't have anything that looks like this. It's probably out of print,
Do you mind if I look around?
Please, be my guest.
Even though it seemed hopeless, something was keeping me from leaving the store. Excuse me, have you seen any books that look like this?
No, sorry. But there's hundreds of books here. You should look around.
Thank you. Who was Harry Chaffee? And how could I possibly find another book like Jojo Babbitt? I was ready to give up, but I could hear my father's voice in my head, challenging me just like he did when I was little, saying, Albert, come on, Albert, hang in there. And then I found myself being pulled to a large bookcase. Dear Albert, happy 8th birthday. May your day be filled with as much magic as Jojo Babbitt's. Love, Dad.
Did you find something?
These are my books. My dad gave them to me 30 years ago. He brought these 4 in to be rebound, and he died before he could pick them up. We didn't know where he took them. I thought they were lost forever.
It's amazing. After 30 years.
I'd like to buy them.
Oh, no, please take them. They're yours.
Thank you. Did you fix these books?
No, it wasn't me. They must have been repaired by the man I apprenticed under. He died about 15 years ago.
Was his name by any chance Harry?
Yeah, Harry Chaffee. How'd you know?
It doesn't matter.
What do you think happened here? Was the little boy Jeremy the reincarnation of the bookbinder, Harry Chaffee? Or had the little boy visited that bookstore before and heard Harry Chaffee's name mentioned there? In determining whether this story is right or wrong, don't jump to conclusions. After all, you can't judge a book by its cover.
We'll find out if the story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a house with a mind of its own, a beyond belief fact or fiction.
Rocket on a front porch. What better way to feel the security and peace of the family home? Marion Rayburn and her husband shared many happy hours on their front porch. But things have changed now. Her husband has passed away, and Marion is facing a financial crisis with no insurance to help. And like a bad neighbor, Louis Newsom is there.
Several years back, my husband decided his bank job was a dead-end career, so he struck out on a new venture, a real estate investing business. Louis had been calling the shots, but I was getting more and more involved.
Look, you put your listing with us so we can schedule an open house. Louis is very confident he can get you a quick sale at a terrific price. Let us know.
Louis dragged me to a seminar entitled How to Make a Million in Real Estate, but I didn't like his methods. By speculating in the real estate market, Louis figured we could retire in 10 years. All we needed was ambition, which Louis had plenty of. Reluctantly, I put plans to start a family on hold. Besides, Louis was a handful all by himself.
Shouldn't you at least wait until Mrs. Rayburn's out to put the sign up?
Take the chance of missing the perfect buyer? No way.
This morning, we had to do one of the worst parts of the real estate game for me, enforcing a foreclosure.
Wait 5 minutes to get your hands on this place, I see.
We've had this conversation before, Mrs. Rayburn. I'm not a bank. When I purchase a mortgage, if the payments aren't made, it comes out of my pocket. I really had no choice.
This house has been in my family since before the war. My husband and I wanted to keep it in the family, to be our legacy.
Mrs. Rayburn, you decided to take a loan on your property.
Yes, to pay my late husband's hospital bills.
Exactly. The bottom line is you took your money out of this deal, so when you couldn't make your payments, I'm the one who got shafted. This house is mine now.
This house will never be yours, Mr. Newsom. Mark my words.
Let me help you with that, Mrs. Rayburn.
I think you and your husband have helped quite enough. Thank you.
This is, without a doubt, my best property. 4 bedrooms, full basement. It's perfect for you folks. You're gonna love it.
Louis went into his usual high-pressure pitch, confident of turning a quick profit on the Rayburn home. The problem was that the Rayburn home wouldn't cooperate.
As you can see, it's been well kept up. It's quite cozy, in fact. This old furniture should have kicked in before this. But don't you worry, I'm sure it's nothing. Here, of course, is a fantastic feature. It's a formal sitting room. I got to apologize. That smell's never been there before, but don't you worry. We'll get someone out to take care of it. It's no problem. I'll call you.
As the weeks and months went by, every time we tried to sell the Rayburn home, we encountered one bizarre, unusual problem after another. Well, what was it this time?
I opened a window. Must have caused a draft. Next thing I know, doors are slamming all over the place.
And the glass?
I went to close the window. The whole thing came right out of the frame. I'll get it fixed.
How many thousands have you put into this place already? New carpet to get rid of the smell, plumbing repairs, a new furnace, and there still hasn't been a single offer.
I'll sell this turkey. You'll see.
Do you believe in karma, Louis? What goes around comes around.
What are you talking about?
You didn't have to kick that old woman out of her house. You were after a fast buck, and now you're obsessed with selling this place, and you're driving the two of us nuts. Just forget about it, Louis. Please. Just give it away.
Give it away. Now you're talking crazy.
This isn't about the house anymore, Louis. This is about us. You need to choose. Me or this place.
You're kidding, right?
If you folks are here for the open house, we're about to close up.
We're not really looking to buy, but we were curious about seeing the place.
A home's a fine investment, you know.
Just started graduate school over at the college. Afraid a teaching assistant's pay doesn't go very far.
We've heard a lot about the house.
Don't believe everything you heard.
Do you think it would be all right if we took a quick walkthrough?
Of course. Go ahead.
What?
From the second the young couple set foot in the house, every problem stopped. And that's when I came up with a big idea. Wait a moment. My husband and I have been very lucky with our real estate investments. We got this house at a real bargain.
You can save the sales pitch. We couldn't even come up with a down payment right now.
Forget the down payment. Do you have $1?
You're kidding, right?
I think that's my line.
I accept this $1 in consideration as payment in full. Congratulations. You're now homeowners. I have all the paperwork in the car.
Did you just do what I think you...
Uh-huh. And believe me, you got off a lot cheaper than a divorce.
If this isn't a joke, then...
I just figured it'd be fun to see Grandma's old house again. I mean, who would have thought? It's as if she willed it to us.
Later, we learned that the old woman we evicted was the young couple's grandmother. She passed away soon after we forced her out. I still recall what she said. This house will never be yours. Mark my words.
What really caused the problems in the house? Was the spirit of Marion Rayburn making sure the house would stay in her family? Or were all those mishaps just coincidence? If so, why did all the defects stop the minute Marion's granddaughter crossed the threshold? Does this tale of a soul protecting her property seem like logical truth? Or do you think that our writer's off his rocker?
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a broken mirror brings terror to its owner on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
How superstitious are you? For instance, do you have the courage to walk under a ladder? Horseshoes, rabbit's feet, four-leaf clovers. An entire subculture exists around superstition, complete with its own rules and artifacts. We make our own luck, or are we victim to the whims of the gods of fortune? Lauren Davis has never been a superstitious person, but she's about to go through an experience that will challenge her perception of the words bad luck.
I'd been in my new home for 6 months and had finally saved enough to redecorate my living room the way I really wanted it.
I can't believe we're almost done. Paint looks great, Michelle. Thanks so much for all your help.
That's what friends are for. It's amazing what you can do with a little money and a lot of garage sales.
Oh my God, this thing weighs a ton.
Careful.
It's okay, I have it.
Let me give you a hand.
Oh my God, I don't believe this. I love that old mirror.
Oh, no, don't touch it. Don't clean it up, not even one piece of it.
What?
7 years bad luck.
Michelle, you know I'm not a superstitious person. I don't believe in all that mumbo jumbo.
Lauren, I know about this stuff. If you leave it the way it is, you'll only have 7 hours of bad luck.
That's ridiculous.
Why take a chance? Leave it for 7 hours and then clean it up. What's the harm?
Michelle!
Lauren, 7 hours of bad luck is much better than 7 years. Just set the timer for 7 hours and then clean it up immediately and you'll end the bad luck. Humor me.
Okay. Okay, I won't clean it up for 7 hours.
Thank you. You still have to be careful.
I'll be careful. I'm staying in tonight. I owe my mother a letter.
Maybe I should spend the night.
Michelle, I'll be fine. Besides, you have that date with Jay tonight. I don't want you to break it.
You sure?
Nothing's gonna happen. Three hours in, and so far, no bad luck. Michelle, you are so weird. Yuck. The plumber was just here. Michelle would have a field day with this. There was only half an hour to go and the 7 hours would be up. I was sure those incidents in the kitchen weren't bad luck. They were just coincidence. I couldn't wait to show Michelle how stupid her superstitions were. I don't believe this. They all look fine to me. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Even though I put the fire out easily, I was beginning to think that maybe I was having 7 hours of bad luck. I needed some light so I could see how much time was left. Oh my God! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! With the power back on, I was able to call the police. I wanted to keep myself busy until they arrived, so I decided to clean up the broken mirror. lucky I was that the thing that saved me was a piece of glass from the broken mirror.
Did Lauren really experience 7 hours bad luck as the result of the broken mirror? Or did the power of suggestion only make it seem that way? But how do you explain the stalker? If Lauren's luck was really so bad during the 7-hour period, why didn't he get in during that time? Do you truly know whether this story is true or false? Or will you just be making a lucky guess?
We'll find out if this story is true or false at the end of our show. Next, a coin reveals untold secrets on Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
To most of us, coins are convenient ways to deal with small cash transactions. But to a numismatist or serious collector, there are volumes of stories behind the engravings of every coin. Todd Davis is a young man whose only interest in coins comes from the spare change he receives in tips. But he will soon encounter an unusual man, a man who will show him the other side of the coin.
Carter Jenkins was a spooky legend in my town because nobody ever saw him. Even when I delivered pizzas to his place, he'd never come out until I was gone. He'd just leave a $10 bill taped to the door, and I'd leave his 50 cents in a tin cup. And that's how it was. The same exact thing every time. But this time, he messed up. Instead of $10, he taped a $100 bill to the door.
Hello? It's the pizza guy. Sorry to bother you, but you've made a mistake. This isn't a $10 bill.
Thank you for your honesty. Oh, and by the way, I believe this is yours. You left it with my change.
I can't believe I did that.
You corrected a very expensive error for me. Thank you. I'm Carter Jenkins.
And thank you, Todd Davis. That's my lucky nickel. Oh, man, if I would have lost this. I've had it since I was 5 years old, I know.
Your father gave it to you for helping him rake leaves.
How did you know that?
Psychometry. Every object tells a story about the people who possessed it. All you have to do is feel the message. Here, start with this, and thank you again.
50 cents. So much for honesty.
I'd never been to Carter Jenkins' place before in the daylight, but the next afternoon I had something important to tell him. Excuse me, Mr. Jenkins, but are you sure you wanted to give me that coin? Mm-hmm. When I saw how old it was, I had a feeling that it must be special.
Yes?
So I showed it to a friend of my dad's who's a coin collector, and he told me it's worth
$100. What is this coin telling you? That coin has a story connected with one of those pictures. Which one?
The coin belonged to this man.
Very good.
He was awarded the Purple Heart while serving in Korea.
Keep going.
He gave you the coin for good luck when you went to Vietnam.
You have a gift, Todd. Now, try this.
I don't know how long we talked. I only know that Carter Jenkins had introduced me to the world of psychometry. My life would never be the same. That lucky coin your friend gave you. It saved your life.
That's right. It deflected a bullet that would have killed me.
That's some picture.
Yes. And one day, you'll know the whole story behind the picture. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir, and thank you. For the next few months, I was back in school. But when the semester ended, the first thing I did was visit Carter Jenkins.
Come on, get that truck packed and on the road. I got a plane to catch.
Who are you?
I'm Todd Davis. I'm a friend of Mr. Jenkins.
Yeah? Didn't think he had any friends. Carter's dead. Heart attack. His lawyer calls me up, says my cousin's left me the contents of his house.
I'm so sorry. He was
a real nutcase. Everybody said he had piles of money stashed around here, but I tore the place apart. Didn't find squat. Wife wants the furniture. The rest is a bunch of garbage.
Can I stay here a minute?
Suit yourself. Hey, when that lawyer shows up, tell him I caught an early flight. He can mail me the paperwork.
What about the photographs?
Old pictures of people I don't even know. Tell the lawyer to have a garage sale.
Would you mind if I take this one?
Take them all if you want. I'm out of here.
Every object tells a story. You have a gift, Todd. A gift.
Where's Ed? I guess he just left. I'm Todd. I was a friend of Mr. Jenkins.
Todd Davis? He told me about you. I'm John Radner, Carter's lawyer. He didn't warm up to very many people, but he really enjoyed the talks you two had.
Me too.
People didn't realize that Carter was an extremely generous man. Contributed to many local projects. Never wanted anyone to know.
Every object tells a story. One day, you'll know the whole story behind the picture.
Are they valuable?
Very.
Then they'll help pay for the children's playground.
How'd you know about that? The playground was Carter's next project. How did you know they were behind the photograph?
It was a lesson Mr. Jenkins taught me. Every object has a story.
What really made Todd turn over the photograph? Was he truly using some paranormal ability, or was he heeding Carter's words about the story behind the picture? But then, how could he have possibly known about the children's playground? Carter had never mentioned it to anyone but his lawyer. Will you use logic to deduct whether this story is true or false? Or will you just flip a coin?
You'll find out which of our stories are fact and which are fiction when Beyond Belief returns.
Now let's look back at tonight's stories and find out which ones are inspired by actual events and which ones are totally false. What about the couple whose camping trip became a matter of life and death?
Oh my God, hold on, I can't get a signal.
Shh. Listen, you hear that?
He's coming, we're going to be down.
Look, somebody over there.
Do you think this one really happened? Sorry, it's a work of fiction. How about the story of the doctor who received an unexpected gift from his late father?
Dear Albert, happy 8th birthday. May your day be filled with as much magic as JoJo Babbitt's. Love, Dad.
You think you've heard a story like this before? You might have. It's true. According to our research, a similar story happened on the East Coast in the late 70s. Let's take another look at the real estate gambler who couldn't beat the house.
Well, what was it this time?
I opened a window. Must have caused a draft. Next thing I know, doors are slamming all over the place.
And the glass?
I went to close the window. The whole thing came right out of the frame.
Did you think this story really happened? If you did, we fooled you. It's a fake. How about the woman whose broken mirror set off a streak of misfortune? Fact or fiction?
They all look fine to me. Everything's fine. Everything is fine.
You thought this story was based on a real-life occurrence. You're right. Published reports place a similar story in the Washington, D.C. area several years ago. Let's take another look at the pizza delivery boy and the recluse.
What is this coin telling you? That coin has a story connected with one of those pictures. Which one?
The coin belonged to this man.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is. There was a published report that a similar story was experienced by a delivery boy in the Midwest about 10 years ago. How was your truth detector this time? Were you able to tell fact from fiction? Or did you find that our stories were located somewhere between substance and shadow, a location that could be only labeled as beyond belief? I'm Jonathan Frakes.
When I Was Big and 7 Hours are true, based upon first-hand research conducted by author Robert Tralins. This is Campbell Lane.